All right. Focus, Freddie.
Good evening, everyone. It is the night before Christmas 2018. Here we are, another year older, and time is flying so fast. But our traditions remain. We're here in South Korea with the three Freds all together for the first time ever. And we have a story to read that is a story for the ages. And it's called The Night Before Christmas. It was written by a man named Denslow many, many years ago before the turn of the 19th century. And this is a precious story that has supported the Jelinek, the Wagner, and the Orosio family for years and years. So now we can begin. Denslow's Night Before Christmas was written in 1902. This book was published in that year and has become a classic. It was published in New York City and now is legendary around the world. With so much love, this book was dedicated to Nancy Ann Turner by her uncle Denslow. And now here is the introduction. A long time ago, in a tall, gray old house in New York City, a father wrote a story in rhyme for the surprise and delight of his children when they should gather around him on Christmas morning. But he did not know that he was writing the pretty story for all the other little people in the land until their laughter began to float up from everywhere and pour into the windows of his house and fill his heart with music. He grew to be an old man, a lot like me. And year by year, as Christmas came around, the laughter of the children grew sweeter and louder. And as the heads of his own little ones left the height of his knee and crept up and up to his shoulder, the first thing that he knew that they were sending other little wee new shiny-haired folks to nestle and clamor about him and listen with breathless joy while he repeated the thrilling account of the visit of St. Nicholas. And so, for the reason that many people knew and loved the poem, it became what we call a classic. And the name of the man who wrote it, Clement Clarke Moore, will be beloved while the Christmas spirit keeps the heart of a child fresh and sweet and the heart of the earth young. He was a wise man, and it is said that he wrote many wise books, but they are all forgotten now. And his fame rests on this merry tale that we have all listened to in the flickering firelight of that blessed eve, that would be tonight, when the snow glistened outside under the soft, round moon, and in the towers above the town, the bells could scarcely hold their tongues till they were free to swing and sing, Christmas, Christmas, Christmas. What grown-up child of today does not recall creepy thrills of delight that during that mysterious waiting time when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. What an artistic preparation for the sudden, far-off jangle and clamor of silver bells, the nearer creak of the tiny sleigh on the crisp snow, and then the actual prancing and pawing of those dear familiar little hoofs, those enchanting reindeer with their tossing antlered heads and nimble feet are the hereditary property of every child in America, in the Philippines, and also in Korea. They belong to the grandfathers, the grandmothers, and they will be the joy of little people of the future, since William Wallace Denslow has coaxed them onto his pages and pictured them in his own delightful way for a new generation. It was certainly a happy thought to put the poem in a new and suitable dress, and to embellish the lines with Mr. Denslow's whimsical humor, for it was written before it came to be the fashion to write down to children, and besides being a merry tale, it is an excellent piece of literary work, full of dramatic action and exquisite imagery. All that is good survives, and so the little people of all time to come, may hear in their smiling Yuletide dreams the patter of tiny, hurrying little hoofs upon the roof, and the jolly and significant voice of the old saint calling, "Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night." And now we begin the story itself. It is the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings, they were all hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas would soon be there. And so it is true here in this house tonight. Can't wait. The children, they were all nestled, snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. Great pictures. When out on the lawn there rose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave her luster of midday to the objects below. The moon was so bright you could see like daylight out on the snow in the yard, when what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer. Oh, what a picture. With a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in just a moment it must be Saint Nick, also known as Santa Claus. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen, to the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away, dash away, dash away all, cried St. Nicholas to his team of reindeer. As dry leaves that before a wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an object, they mount up to the sky. And thus it was with the sleigh and the reindeer and the presents and St. Nick. So up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with a sleigh full of toys and St. Nicholas, Santa Claus too. And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. They were jumping and dancing and oh so excited. As I drew in my head from the window and was turning around, then down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bounce. He was dressed all in fur, from his head to his foot, and his clothes, well, they were all dirty with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back to put under the tree for the children that are good children. And he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. He also had a pipe. The stump of that pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke from that pipe, it encircled his head like a wreath. He was chubby and plump, a little bit fat, and a right jolly old elf. And I laughed when I saw him, in spite of myself. He was really funny to see, but what a beautiful elf. In a wink of his eye and a twist of his head, soon gave me to know that I had nothing to dread from him. He spoke not a word, was completely silent, but went straight to his work, and he filled all the stockings with presents and so many presents. And then he turned in an instant, and with a jerk, and laying a finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod, Up the chimney he rose to go to the next little boy's house. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down on a thistle. Oh, what a sight! But I heard him exclaim as he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night." Merry Christmas to everyone in the United States, to Anne, to Jeff, to Mary, to Big Mary, to Alexis in the Philippines, to Jeff and Hazel and Joan, and here in Korea to Fred 1, Fred 2, Fred 3, and Lily. Merry Christmas to all, 2018, and a very good night.
All right. Good stuff.
Good.